Hey friends, Dr. Christy here, and I just had a fantastic conversation with a patient that I wanted to share with you. This was a conversation around social media usage. Now, first off, I would just like to say that I believe that social media can be a phenomenal tool, and it can also be used as like a drug. So we think of drugs as, obviously, illegal drugs, of course, medication types are drugs, caffeine, alcohol, cigarettes, food, anything that we're using to artificially change our state in a moment kind of is a drug. So we've talked about this in previous videos, but I really believe social media can be used as a drug in a negative kind of way. So if we find ourselves, or maybe even our kids, using too much screen time and it's impacting us and our health mentally, emotionally, physically even, in a negative way, there are ways to change this. And so number one, first and foremost, I often recommend ask yourself, why am I going on right now? I will be honest, there are times where I think 3 to 5 minutes, if I have to wait for an appointment or I'm waiting for this, you know what? This is a good opportunity to just scroll through something and just waste 3 to 5 minutes because I have nothing else to do and it's enjoyable to me, right? On the other hand, if I have 40 minutes, I can be productive in that time, and it's really easy to jump on TikTok or jump on a social media and waste 40 minutes before you know it. So I often recommend, before you jump at any social media, even YouTube, before you jump on any social media outlet or any kind of screen time, ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I avoiding? What is the reason that I'm choosing this right now? And get very specific and intentional. So this is point number 2, get very intentional about why you're going on and why you're using it. Then number 3, I even recommend setting limits for yourself. So I personally have specific limits across all social media apps, and I rarely reach those anymore. So it was years ago now that I took a week hiatus off of all social media when I found that it was becoming toxic and it was impacting me negatively and emotional level. I was getting agitated every time I watched, and that's not what it's designed to do. So when I discovered this, I didn't even want to go back on. Now that said, for my business, I do enjoy being connected with other humans. So it wasn't realistic for me to say, you know what, screw this, I'm shutting down completely. That said, like I said already, be very intentional about why you're going on, and then just set limits for yourself so you don't go beyond a certain point where it becomes unhealthy for you. Unhealthy for me and unhealthy for you might be very different. Figure out what that looks like for you and your nervous system and your body and your life, and set those limitations based on what feels best for you. And finally, I wanted to mention this concept of the algorithms. So social media, even YouTube, every outlet that we can go to on these stupid little devices, they start to become what we seek out. And this is kind of based on the law of attraction. Then of course there's powers that be in the cyber world that are doing this on our devices. However, just like in our lives, based on the law of attraction, we're going to see, hear, and feel more of the things that we're paying attention to. So where energy flows, or energy goes, where our focus goes. And so same thing on social media. The more things that we like in a certain category, the more things that we're paying attention to, those algorithms are going to pick that up and give you and show you more of that. And so if you find that social media, your feed is filled with all negativity, it's all filled with politics, it's all filled with things that don't make you feel good, I actually want you to ask yourself, how are you selecting for those things? Because I can tell you, I don't see any of that stuff on my feed anymore. All I see are personal growth and inspirational quotes and friends and people that are doing fun, amazing things that are quite frankly inspiring to my heart and soul on a physical health and mental, emotional health standpoint. And I think those algorithms have caught up with who I am and what I want to see and what I'm seeking out, as opposed to the things that I don't want to see anything of. If you're finding things in your feed that you don't like, you're paying too much attention to it, and it's going to keep showing up day after day, year after year. Just a couple points to bring home today. This last patient that I had, we just had a nice long conversation about, she says she feels like she just needs to delete these things off of her phone. I said, you don't necessarily need to delete them if they provide you something, but you just need to be much more intentional on your choices of using it. And I can also mention, for me, I shut off my notifications, so no longer do I get a little bubble that tells me, oh, you have unread messages, somebody liked your comments. I don't care about any of that unless I choose to go on and take a look at it. All of my social media apps are in a different screen, so I literally have to scroll past, and it's on the last screen of my phone. They're all in this other little box or app. I'm not super familiar with the lingo, but it's literally, it's microscopic, but it takes an extra 2 or 3 steps for me to get there. I have to swipe twice, click on this thing, and then decide what I'm choosing to open. It's that extra little step that makes me have to think twice. Do I really want to do this? What am I doing this for? Just my 2 cents for the day. If you've ever had trouble, or for yourself or your children or something, and you wanted to have some perspective on how to reduce your screen time and just manage your social media usage a little bit better, those are my tips for your day. So hope you have a great day. Hope you have a fantastic holiday season. And if you got any questions, drop them below. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.